Today we're going to be doing a video on whether or not you should still drift your S15. But before we get into that, I know in the last video you saw, or one of the last videos you saw on the S15, we just got the new exhaust done and everything like that. And guys, it already has an exhaust leak. Like, I don't know if you can hear it if I rev the car, but I'll give it a bit of a brap. I don't know if you can hear that little noise from the front. But yeah, it sounds like it has an exhaust leak. Now, the exhaust, because the guy said because I have an aftermarket manifold, apparently the actual, you know, downpipe and all that stuff, it's actually like sitting quite higher than stock. So it's actually hitting the floor of the car. So I'm thinking maybe because it was rubbing on the floor, it may have a leak there, but I don't know. I'll pop the bonnet and see if we can hear it coming from the front, but it's a bit annoying. Oh yeah, and don't mind the S15, guys. It's literally filthy. Like, I haven't washed it in like a week or two, but the weather's been terrible. I haven't had time to wash it. So yeah, I guess you can't really see on camera, which is good, but yeah, it's pretty filthy. It definitely needs a clean. I have a feeling it's like coming from where it's hitting on the floor of the car, but I'll give it a rev. It sounds quite loud here. What do you guys reckon? Let me know in the comments. That sounds like it's coming from the manifold or somewhere near the front of the car. It sounds like it's right here. Doesn't really sound that good, but yeah, please let me know in the comments below what you guys think it might be. And yeah, I've got to get it checked out because I need to get that fixed before I get the Silvia tuned. It's really annoying that it has an exhaust leak like right after I got it done. But yeah, it's especially annoying because, you know, I'm planning on getting the Silvia tuned very soon, and I can't get it tuned if it has an exhaust leak, obviously. So yeah, I've got to look into that. And yeah, I thought I'd show you guys. And yeah, it's pretty annoying. I haven't actually looked into it properly. This is the first time I've actually popped the bonnet and listened to it, so I have a feeling it's somewhere near the front. Anyways, enough of that. Let's get straight into the video. Alright guys, so we're going to be talking about whether or not you should drift your S15. Alright, so as we all know, S15s and just S chassis in general are pretty much made to drift, and they're some of the best cars that you can possibly drift. Now, back in the days before the prices shot up like crazy, you know, you used to be able to pick one of these up for, you know, 10 to 15k. Same with pretty much any other S chassis. You could get an S13 for less than 10 grand, stuff like that. So they were very like easy cars to, you know, get into, you know, cheaper cars to get into and learn how to drift. A lot of people, you know, they were cheap cars that people wouldn't really care about crashing them around, taking it to the track. You know, if it was getting hit here and there at the track, not many people would worry about it just because of how cheap it is to, you know, get into it. But nowadays, it's a little bit different. So people are still drifting these S chassis, S13s, S14s, and S15s because obviously they're just such good, easy, fun cars to drift. But nowadays, it's a little bit different because it's like the prices are crazy. They're worth like triple, even 4 times what they were, you know, back in the days, you know, at least 5-10 years ago. So a lot of people are starting to think twice about drifting these cars, which is kind of a shame because they're such fun cars, and this is pretty much like the culture around these cars. Like, you know, like look at Tokyo Drift, man. Like it's pretty much all S chassis and everything like that. So because the prices have gone up so much, it's made a lot of people who own S chassis, you know, and S15s think twice about taking it to the wet skid pen or taking it to the track to, you know, learn drifting and go drifting and stuff like that, which is a bit of a shame because I feel like, you know, it is a part of owning an S chassis, and especially an S15. It is something that you should experience, you know, drifting the car. Yeah, so because the prices have gone up so much on S15s, the vast majority of them now are just being, you know, stored in a garage somewhere or in a storage facility as a collector's car, or they just barely get driven, you know, which is fair enough. I barely drive this car as well. It's only a weekender. But it also means that like a lot more people are thinking twice about taking it to the track or the drag strip or anything like that, like it actually, you know, enjoying the car. So because the prices have gone up so much, it's a little bit different now when you take your S15 to the track, because it's not like you're drifting around a $10,000 to $15,000 car. You're drifting around a $40,000 car, and if anything goes wrong, that's 40 grand down the toilet, which can be a little bit daunting, and it is daunting. Like it's a lot of money. So it's definitely a lot of money, and yeah, I can definitely understand why a lot of people don't drift these things anymore. All right, well, I'm gonna put my 2 cents worth in here as well. I personally think you should drift your S15, even though the prices have gone up. And I'm gonna give you a few reasons why. So me personally, even though the prices have gone up, I still drift my S15 when I can. I would definitely recommend a wet skid pan session for your S15 to get you into drifting if you haven't gone drifting before. It's just a very safe option, you know, because there is like, you know, regular skid pan drifting or track drifting, and that kind of drifting puts a lot of strain on your tires, and it also a lot more strain on the car as well. But with wet skid pan drifting, it's a lot less strain on the tires, a lot, you know, a lot less daunting, a lot more fun to control, and it's a lot more controlled. With the wet skid pan events, I normally go to the driving sports events, and yeah, there's normally about like 4 cars per session, and you can speak to the people in your session and say, hey, like I want a bit of space, stuff like that, and people do give you space. You can hang at the back of the pack as well, so you're just away from everyone, and you get to experience drifting the car, and you know, it's less strain on the car, less strain on the tires, and it's a whole lot of fun, honestly. And you know, it's like you own this car, you own such an amazing car, it's so fun, it's such an incredible car, and I feel like you really need, if you own an S15, you need to experience that. So yeah, if you do own an S15, you own such a special car, such a fun car, a car that's made to go sideways. And if you ever do part ways with your S15 for whatever reason, I have a feeling that, you know, there's a big chance that you might actually regret not ever taking it drifting, and not, you know, experiencing that in your S15, because it's something that I feel like every S15 owner should experience. Now, don't get me wrong, there's definitely a risk. There's always a risk. So, you know, I am saying that, yeah, the wet skid pan is probably the safest possible, you know, event that you could go to get into drifting and drift your S15. It definitely is, but there is always a risk, 100%. For example, the last wet skid pan session that I went with my friend Hass's S15. I put his Instagram here, and I put the video up here as well, and you guys will see in the video too, you know, he did crash the S15, so there is a chance that you can crash your Silvia if you do drive it there, 100%, even at a wet skid pan event. As you can see in the video, like he did crash the Silvia. It is possible you can crash your Silvia at a wet skid pan event, but it's also like, if you want to drive it and play it more safe, there's a very, very low risk that you'll crash. As you can see in the video, Hass was like, he was killing it, man, like full on, like mad angle, getting very close to the wall. Like legit, before Hass hit the wall, I'd say he probably went this close to the wall over 20 times, getting really, really close. Like he was absolutely killing it, having so much fun. But there was that one time where, you know, unfortunately, he hit the wall. And it can happen if that's how you're driving. If you're getting very close, you're killing it. It can happen, you know, it's a risk that you're taking when you're getting close to the wall. But if you don't want that to happen to you, you can drift towards the middle of the track and at the back of the pack and all that stuff. So the chances of you hitting someone or something is very low, and you know, you get to drive this home at the end of the day without a scratch on it. But that's why I'm saying, you know, the risk is definitely there no matter what, but it is your choice at the end of the day. All right guys, so the answer to the video, should you still drift your S15? I would say yes, I think you should still drift your S15, you know, for all the reasons I mentioned. Like, you know, yeah, the prices have gone up, but it is a whole different side of the car that you can experience. So yeah, you're basically experiencing a whole new different side of your S15, you know, compared to what you are used to on the street. It's a nice skill to learn, and plus at the wet skid pan events, you know, you can play it safe. You can stay in the middle of the track, you can stay at the back, you can avoid people and avoid things. So yeah, the risk is there because yeah, it could be very expensive to fix whatever's been damaged, or you know, the car could, knock on wood, be written off, which is definitely the worst possible scenario, but it's very, very unlikely. But yeah guys, it's totally understandable if you don't want to drift your S15 still, you know, obviously because the prices have gone up so much. The car's gotten a lot more rarer, it's a lot more valuable, so it's totally understandable why, you know, you wouldn't want to take it to the track. But yeah, I've just given you guys some of, you know, my insight, and you know, giving you the reasons why I think you should still drift your S15, and why I personally still drift my S15 at the track when I can. And yeah, I hope it helped you guys out, and hope you enjoyed as well. Alright guys, so back home, and I really hope you enjoyed the video on whether or not you should drift your S15, and I really hope that it could, you know, help you guys make that decision yourself, whether you own an S15 or you're thinking of buying an S15 and you want to make that decision as to whether you should take it to the track and drift it or not. So yeah, I really hope this could help you guys make that decision, and yeah, just let you guys know personally what I think and what I do with my Silvia, and yeah, I really hope that it can, you know, help you guys make that decision yourself. Alright guys, so I'll probably leave the video here, and if you enjoyed it, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, all of that for more, and I'll see you guys next time. on That Car Life.